What's going on, folks? Devon Banks here in the Bass Basement. We all know that smallmouth love a spinnerbait. Well, I'm going to give you 3 spinnerbait colors that they crush. It's all coming up.
Brought to you by Rec Lending, your source for marine loans and warranties.
Ooh-wee. Get that meanie up here. That's a Lake St. Clair stud.
Folks, thanks for tuning in. Now, spinnerbaits and smallmouth go together like peanut butter and jelly. It's just that simple. Whether you're on the flats of the St. Lawrence River, Lake Ontario, Lake St. Clair, Lake Champlain, or Lake Oneida, those smallmouth are going to hit a spinnerbait. And it's a couple things that you have to do to make sure that you get a real good spinnerbait bite. One, you need very clear water. You're talking about 5 to 8 feet visibility. If you can see the bottom, that's even better. 2, you want to burn your spinnerbait. You just want them to be able to see those blades and that skirt do their dance, and they'll come, inspect it from a long ways, track it, and hit it. 3, you need bait. And 4, you definitely need to make sure that you see roaming smallmouth. Schooling smallmouth is even better. It all depends on what season you are fishing. Whether it's spring, summer, or fall, there's definitely a spinnerbait bite happening if you're along the flats of a smallmouth body of water. Now, there are 3 types of spinnerbait colors that I love to throw over the past years that I know will get you big bites. Now, normally, when you're talking about spinnerbaits and spinnerbait fishing for smallmouth, you want to go big. You want to go big and bulky. You want to make sure that you're giving some flash, especially with those blades, and you're doing something a little bit different, and you're showing them something a little bit different. So one of my first baits that I love to throw, whether it's spring, summer, or fall, and I'm fishing flats, I'm looking for smallmouth, I see them roaming, and I'm just going to an area and checking them out. The sun's beaming down. It's just one of those bluebird sky days, and it's not a lot of ripple on the water, and I can cruise and I can sort of see what's going on in the bottom. There's scattered grass, there's sand, there's some rock, there's some bait, there's life. I see bait jumping. You know what? I'm going to tie on a spinnerbait. And one of my favorite colors first that I like to go to is one right here. Now, I'm not sponsored by these individuals, but I firmly believe in this product. I've been throwing it for years when it comes to spinnerbaits, and that is a War Eagle. This is a War Eagle spinnerbait, but a lot of companies make this color. This is just a full chartreuse spinnerbait. Now, let me go into my Flambeau blade crate because I got them in here. Pull them out. Here it is right here. This is a full chartreuse spinnerbait. Now, this right here is going to create a lot of attention. Why? Because of that color. And we all know that smallmouth love the color chartreuse. And this right here is a 1/2 ounce spinnerbait. You see I got the double willow leaf blades. They're doing a lot of flash and it's causing a lot of attention. And those smallmouth see it, track it from a long ways, and they strike it. They really, really want it. A couple of things that I like to do with this spinnerbait, just to, like I said, you want a big profile. I love a big profile spinnerbait in the summertime. A lot of folks like that compact spinnerbait. That's not my deal. I'm looking for those large, big, roaming 4 or 5 pound smallmouth. If they're grouped up, that's great because they're really going to hit it because they're fighting for a meal. And I like to throw this, like I said, Bluebird Skies is one of the baits I always have tied on anytime I fish for smallmouth. A couple things I'll do, I will add a trailer hook or I'll add a 3.8 Berkeley Power Swimmer in white, just to give it some bulk, just to keep it up in the water column, because I'm burning this. I'm throwing this on a 7-foot medium heavy Veritas PLX rod. I got 17-pound 100% Berkeley fluorocarbon, and I'm throwing a 7-to-1 Revo STX. Point blank, I'm burning this. This is what I want. I want to make long casts. I want to burn it back. I don't want them to see a lot of it. I just want them to strike it. So this is one of my favorite colors that I go to, an all chartreuse spinnerbait. The second spinnerbait that I love to throw is a combination of chartreuse and white. And I like to throw this color combination when it's a little cloudy. You're still looking at clear water. You still see bait fish jumping. You still see nature doing its thing. So I like to go with a chartreuse and white. Like I said, 1/2 ounce spinnerbait. Here it is right here. And all I add is a trailer hook. And once again, that 3.8 Power Swimmer. And that is going to be in the sight flash color or just plain white. So I have a swim bait on the back. I want this big. I want this bulky. I want it to cause a lot of attention. I want these blades to turn. Every now and again, I may jerk it to make these blades bang one against each other, make some sound underneath the water. But mainly, I'm just burning this and covering a lot of water. If I see rocks, I'm throwing it by rocks. Like I said, 5 to 8 feet, very clear, and I'm just burning it. I have these 3 spinnerbaits tied on all the time when I'm fishing for smallmouth and I'm fishing shallow. I like to just interchange with these smallmouth. I don't want to keep retying, so I have these 3 tied on. Same setup, but I want to make sure I have access to throw them and just give the fish a different look. Chartreuse and white, you can't go wrong. Double willow leaf blades, and once again, I am burning this spinnerbait, and this is spinnerbait number 2. All right, folks, coming in at number 3. This is one of my favorite colors. A lot of pros talk about it. I have to dig into my Blade Crate by Flambeau. This is an awesome organizational box. Holds 42 plus spinnerbaits in here. The Z-Rust keeps them dry. They won't rust. So we spend, $7, $8, $10 on a spinnerbait. You'll be able to use those spinnerbaits and get the life out of them. So look into the Blade Crate by Flambeau if you're looking for a new organizational tool to store your spinnerbait. So going into that, my favorite color out of all 3 of these spinnerbaits, well, I tell you what, any color that's catching is my favorite color at the time. But this is one that when I first started throwing spinnerbaits for smallmouth, this is a color that I had first. And this is War Eagle's 1/2 ounce blue herring. Now, this is the original spinnerbait, double willow. They do have a Screaming Eagle. That's a 1/2 ounce as well, but it's a smaller compact version. I've thrown that. But I like throwing the bigger, bulky spinnerbaits for smallmouth. It just seems that I get a bigger bite. It looks like a bigger meal to them. You have this big silver blade. You have the gold blade right there. And I add that 3.8 Berkeley Power Swimmer on the back. Gives it a bigger profile. And with that 17-pound, 100% fluorocarbon, once I hook them, I'm going to get them in the boat. Other than this, I add a trailer hook. And I'm fan casting. If I see one roaming, I'm going to cast out in front of it. I have seen a smallmouth chase my spinnerbaits in the air. And you know what I'm talking about, guys and gals. If you made a cast and before you even cranked the spinnerbait, hit the reel on the handle, they've already hit the spinnerbait as soon as it hit the water. It's one of these colors that I have high confidence in. And adding this trailer, that 3.8 Berkeley Power Swimmer, that tail has a lot of action, has a lot of kick, and they hone in on it. They chase it from a long distance. And if you got that clear water, if the sun is shining, and you're able to make long casts and maybe come across some grass patches or some rock, or you're just fan casting on flats, this is a color that you definitely want to throw. A lot of pros talk about this color. They try to keep it a secret, but the blue herring color by War Eagle, the original half-ounce spinnerbait. This right here is money. And the past couple years, I've added this power swimmer on the back, and it seems to get much larger bites. So there you have it, folks. Those are the 3 spinnerbait colors that I love to throw for smallmouth all year long. They're always on my deck. Make sure you check those colors out. Add you a 3.8 power swimmer by Berkley on the back with a trailer hook, and hang on. I'll drop all this info below in the description box, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.